Well, 5 Yorktown area students are competing nationally in a mobile app making contest. Now on NewsLink, how this app could benefit children's health.
A data breach at an Indiana-based restaurant puts employee tax information at risk. New and next, we'll have a live report with more.
And for right now, we're in the 30s, but I'll let you know when we're going to have a decrease. NewsLink Indiana starts now.
Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Tony Sandlaven.
And I'm Brittany Erman. Thanks for joining us.
Well, a data breach at a popular Indiana-based restaurant has thousands of employees looking for answers.
And NewsLink Indiana's Sarah Lehman is live in the newsroom to tell us more about that breach. Sarah?
Thanks, Brittany. Yeah, Scotty's Brewhouse employees were a part of what investigators are calling a spoofing scam. This tricks workers into sending personal information by using a corporate officer's name. In this case, a payroll account employee received an email from what appeared to be Scott Wise, the CEO of the chain restaurant. The scammer asked for W-2 forms of all 4,000 Scotty's employees. Christopher Martin, director of HR and payroll for the company, told police the email was not really from Wise. However, the employee had already sent the W-2 forms to the unknown individual. Wise said in a statement Tuesday evening, quote, "Unfortunately, Scotty's was the target of and fell victim to scammers, as so many other companies have." He continues to say Scotty's employees and customers are of tremendous importance to the company, and they regret any inconvenience that might result from the scamming incident. Scotty's corporate does say that no customer information was obtained from this scam. Live in the newsroom, Sarah Lehman, NewsLink Indiana.
Thanks, Sarah. The company is working with law enforcement and credit bureaus to limit any misuse of the information collected and to find and capture the scammers responsible. And trending now, former ExxonMobil CEO Rex Tillerson is officially the United States Secretary of State. Vice President Mike Pence led the swearing-in ceremony. President Donald Trump and Tillerson's wife were also present. Trump later spoke about his newest cabinet member.
Your whole life has prepared you for this movement. And you really have had a tremendous life, heading up one of the great companies of the world and doing it magnificently, absolutely magnificently. And I can say this is a man that's respected all over the world before he even begins.
Tillerson was confirmed by the Senate yesterday with a 56-43 vote. And President Trump is encouraging Republican leaders to pull out all of the stops if Democrats move to block his Supreme Court nominee.
That's right. Judge Neil Gorsuch was announced last night as Trump's pick for the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has been split 4-4 since the sudden death of Antonin Scalia last February. Trump said filling the vacant seat was one of the, quote, single most important issues for voters in the November election. This is after Republicans for 10 months refused to even consider President Obama's nominee to fill the vacancy. Chad Kinsella is an assistant professor of political science here at Ball State. Here's what he had to say.
Be really interesting. Trump has come out and said, it's like, yeah, I want the Democrats to come on board with this. It's not fair if they don't give him a fair shake. They're upset because they fear the Republicans didn't give Obama's guy a fair shake. But, here they are. I mean, he's going to be confirmed one way or another.
Now, if Gorsuch is confirmed, the court will go back to the same balance it had before, with 4 justices leaning conservative, 4 leaning liberal, and Justice Anthony Kennedy as the swing vote. Now, coming back to the home front, 5 students from Yorktown Middle School were awarded Best in State in the Verizon Innovative App Challenge.
That's right, Tony. And the students are now competing nationally to make their app idea a reality. NewsLink reporter Aaliyah English has more on that story.
When we're talking about writing
language arts teacher Shannon Regal was looking for a new way to motivate her students when she received an email from a parent about the Verizon App Challenge.
As soon as I saw it, I kind of thought this would be a great project for my advanced students.
After doing much research, the students wanted to create an app to help the nearly 6 million children living with food allergies. Yorktown Middle School students created Allergy Aid, an app for students with food allergies.
There's like a barcode on the food that you can scan the barcode, but if there's not, they can just search it in the search bar and it'll come up with that food, and then if they tap on it, it'll tell them if they can or can't have it.
Yeah. Research shows that every 3 minutes someone is sent to the hospital due to a food allergy. For Maria Alexander, she remembers this trip far too well.
My mom was like, do you need your EpiPen? I was like, no. She drove like a little bit and I was like, yes, I need it. So she jabbed it in my thigh and like she was freaking out, I was freaking out.
If the app is selected to be the national winner, Yorktown Middle School will be awarded an additional $15,000. And the students will work with the MIT Media Lab to make the app a reality. In Muncie, Aaliyah English.
And to vote for the Allergy Aid app in the Verizon app challenge, you can text all aid to 22333. Only one vote is allowed per mobile device, and voting closes February 14th.
Boy, that is so cool to see some middle schoolers getting some national attention.
Absolutely.
I'm sure those middle schoolers that we saw were certainly happy to be inside, though, on a day like today. Very, very cold outside.
Yeah, and I think we can really go for some warmer temperatures. I know we're still in the winter, but I think anything was better than today. So, Kaylee, what can you tell us?
Hours ago, but beautiful clear skies here on campus tonight, and currently 33 degrees, feels like 26 degrees with winds at 8 miles per hour. Across the rest of the state, Bloomington at 37, Indianapolis 33, Kokomo sitting at freezing point at 32 degrees. Not much happening on radar here. We're seeing low-level clouds here in the southern part of the state, but Muncie here again, those clear skies. Now coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to talk about those frigid temperatures continuing throughout the week, when the sun will return, and we've got some snow chances in the forecast. All that and more coming up.
All right, thank you, Kaylee. The Muncie Animal Care Center will be having an event to adopt cats this weekend.
NewsLink Indiana's Brittany Carlin has more on that story.
If you're a cat lover, then this event is for you. The Muncie Animal Care Center is hosting an event called Feline Fiesta. This event will include food, drinks, and adoption. I spoke with Phil Beckenpaw, the director of the Muncie Animal Care Center, about the event.
We're just having a small event on Saturday called the Feline Fiesta. The goal of the event is to promote cat adoptions here at the Muncie Animal Care and Education Center. We've reduced our adoption fee to just $7 for adult cats that are available for adoption. That includes the cost of their spay or neuter, all their age-appropriate testing and vaccination.
Right now, there are about 60 cats, and it's a lot for the employers to handle. I spoke with Katie McIntyre about her job and what it requires her to do.
Just making sure every day that they have fresh water and food, and making sure that they're not getting sick and that they're healthy.
If you or anyone you know wants to adopt a little cat like this one, well, come out to the Feline Fiesta this Saturday. I'm Brittany Carlin in Muncie, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information about this event, you can go check out the Muncie Animal Care and Services Facebook page.
How can you not like cats like that?
So
well,
cute.
Coming up, an update on an on-campus renovation.
Plus, the Student Government Association met for the first time since SGA President Wells held a press conference with student media. All that and more when NewsLink Indiana returns.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family,
and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Since June 6th, the corner of McKinley and Riverside has been quite the construction zone.
NewsLink Indiana's Ben Safarbi has new information on the costs and details regarding the remodeling of Emmons Auditorium.
Emmons has been under construction since June for its lobby expansion project, but the project includes more than a lobby, and the cost for it too. NewsLink sat down with Bob Myers, director of John R. Emmons College Community Auditorium and Pruis Hall, on the financial status of the project and new details on the remodeling.
The total cost for this construction is under $5 million.
This differs from the listed financial cost on the university's website under Public Works, but Myers did have an explanation for the discrepancy.
Well, we talk about hard and soft costs. The construction costs would be just over $4 million. What's not counted in that are architectural fees.
Accessibility to bathrooms, particularly for the elderly and disabled, is now a major component of the project.
People come to our event and they say, "Where are the restrooms?" And we say, "Downstairs." And they look at me and they're crestfallen. So to have restrooms right when you arrive at the venue, and to have a family restroom where a nurse and someone in a wheelchair can have some private space, is a great amenity.
The university website posts a substantial completion date of April 21st of this year for the project. I asked Myers to give some insight on what substantial means in this case and whether that impacts the completion date.
Substantial completion means that it's going to look pretty done. We should be able to open doors and have people come in. Certain touch-up punch list things, they might be things that they're still correcting, things we see that we want them to pay attention to. As far as I know, we're on schedule.
In Muncie, Ben Safarbi, NewsLink Indiana.
Myers also said that a show for students similar to recording artist Macklemore last year is still a possibility.
Well, Ball State Student Government Association met today for the first time since SGA President James Wells held a press conference with student media. The Student Senate voted on the bill that was the source of frustration for the student president. Wells, who was not present for the meeting, said he felt the bill was a personal attack that would strip both him and future SGA presidents of their power. However, the legislation he opposed failed to get the necessary 2/3 vote.
Today marks the first day of Black History Month and the 41st year of observance in the U.S. Students on campus are finding a way to celebrate. Kelsey Dickinson has a story.
Ball State University's Black Student Association kicked off Black History Month with a social media campaign where members of BSA and other students could share what their Black means to them.
Black History Month to me is just celebrating the people who basically paved the way for us. There's a lot of educators, a lot of people, motivational people who did a lot for Black History Month, but we don't really get to shed light on them.
There are many historical figures that helped shape what we know as Black History Month. Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks were both major activists in the civil rights movement, and Jane Boleyn was the first Black woman to become judge in the United States. This type of activism still persists today. Excellence in Leadership will be hosting comedian Kamau Bell next week. Bell will be talking about how to end racism in America.
I think Black history has had such an impact on our culture, and it's something that should be celebrated and definitely honored, so I think that this is going to be a great week.
I guess it's almost empowering, and it's showing pride in your community, because in America, society, African Americans is always shown in a good light, and also history. We don't learn our history unless we go out and search it for ourselves. So I guess Black History Month gives you that bigger platform to share with everyone else.
Kamau Bell will be at Pruis Hall on February 6th at 7:30 p.m. Admission will be free. For NewsLink Indiana, I'm Kelsey Dickinson.
BSA will be hosting several events throughout the month to commemorate Black History Month, including service projects, game nights, and a historical freedom bus.
All right, guys, well, coming up, we're going to be talking about these very chilly temperatures that are going to happen overnight. We're going to see wind chills dip into the lower teens as well as the single digits.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. So Tony, when I was walking around campus yesterday, it was so windy I could barely stand up straight.
Yeah, well, the good thing was it was a little bit less windy today.
Right.
But still that coolness, though. Very cold outside. Kaylee, I miss that 60-degree weekend that we had last weekend. You know, is that coming back anytime soon?
You know, I miss it too, Tony, but unfortunately, winter, I think, is here to stay, at least for the next few days. As we take a look here at our current radar, we're seeing those low-level clouds here in the southern part of Indiana. Here in Muncie, though, they're starting to clear out and move eastward, so setting up for that beautiful clear skies this evening. Now, currently across the state, Indianapolis sitting at 37. Bloomington, you're sitting at 37 as well, and Kokomo, you're at the freezing point at 32 degrees. Now, highs today got up to the 40s, so 40 here in Muncie, 41 in Indianapolis, and 42 down in Bloomington. Now, those wind gusts we were talking about yesterday were getting up to 20 and even 30 miles per hour. Now, we're going to see some hefty wind gusts throughout this evening, but definitely not as severe as yesterday. This is Thursday at 1 a.m., so we see 15 mile per hour wind gusts here in Muncie, 15 in Anderson, 16 in Indianapolis and Lebanon. And as we move forward throughout the evening and into tomorrow, we see those wind gusts still sticking around 13 here in Muncie at 5 p.m. tomorrow, but they will start to taper out throughout the rest of Thursday evening. Now, precision cast, we can't rule out a few flurries, maybe possibly tonight, as we start to see this cloud cover move through Muncie this evening, and we will continue to see those clear, beautiful skies, and we'll definitely start to see that sunshine move through our area the next few days. Now, Friday at 8 a.m., we start to see these clouds build through from the west, and they will continue to thicken throughout the day, and this is here Friday at 4 p.m. just before you're getting out of work, but then after that we're going to have clear, beautiful skies to start out your Friday evening. Now, for tonight, expect a low of 22 degrees with cloudy and cool skies, and then for tomorrow, a little bit chillier, a high of 29 degrees, which is below average for now the first day of February. Winds west-northwest at 11 miles per hour. Now, forecasted wind chills is going to be the story for tonight and into tomorrow, stopping here Thursday at 10 a.m. We see Muncie 14 degrees, feeling like 13 in Marion, 11 in Kokomo, and 10 over in Lebanon. So we'll continue to look at those throughout the day, and they'll be up into the 20s throughout the rest of the evening. Now, this Sunday is the Super Bowl, and if you're hosting a party or going to one, this is what you can expect here in Muncie this weekend. So we're expecting a high of 40 degrees with mild temperatures and mostly cloudy skies. So if you're definitely going to enjoy that weekend for that. Now, your 7-day forecast, this is what you can expect. Again, tomorrow, a high of 29 degrees, still staying pretty chilly throughout Friday with a high of 26 degrees. Saturday gets a little bit warmer, above freezing at 34, but you can check out those snow chances there Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So we'll get a little bit of a warm up, but then we'll be back to winter again with the snow.
All right, thanks, Kaylee. And Josh, what's up in sports?
Well, the men's volleyball team has a huge game tomorrow night, and the Ball State football team is bringing in a fresh crop of recruits after graduating a majority of their starting defense. All of this when we come back.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back. I'm Josh Shelton with sports. It's a big day for college football fans as National Signing Day takes place and colleges look to snag the top prospects. Ball State head coach Mike New finished up his first full class with the Cardinals today. The class features 27 recruits in total with a heavy emphasis on defensive backs and skill position players. The Cardinals nabbed 10 recruits from Georgia, and the class was ranked second in the MAC according to 24/7 Sports. The highest a Ball State recruiting class has been pegged since 2006. NewsLink's Amanda Smith had a chance to get News thoughts at tonight's signing day party.
Thank you. Well, I'm here with Ball State head coach Mike New. Coach, when you and your staff initially saw these players, what was it about them that made you say, I want you to come play for me?
Well, I think obviously when you evaluate them on tape and you feel good about their skill set and being able to come in and compete for playing time at our program, then you go out on the recruiting trail, you get to know what they're all about character-wise. What's their character? What's their makeup? What's their family like? What does their coach say about them at the high school level? You go out, you research all of those things, and for all these young men, we felt great about not only are they going to come and be a great representative of Ball State football, but our university it's important for every one of these young men to get their degree, and they know, they all do, that at some point in time football is going to be over, and having that degree and being set up for life after football is very important. We felt great about all these guys in this class, that they cared about that, knowing that was the ultimate goal.
We will post that full interview on our Twitter. For a full list of the signing class, go to ballstatesports.com. And over in Akron, the women's basketball team take on the Akron Zips tonight in a Mid-American Conference showdown. The Cardinals look to extend their 2-game road win streak against a struggling Akron team. And it would be the Destiny Washington show all night long. We'll start off here with a pass inside from Jill Morrison to Washington, who sets her up for the bucket underneath, putting the Cardinals up 9. Renee Bennett here will get the ball. She misses, but here comes the hustle play from Jose with a Carmen Grande, feeds Morrison, long range 3, and the Cards are up 18 now. And of course, Destiny Washington, who we talked about at the beginning, splits the defenders here, lays it up in the basket, and the Cardinals are up 21 entering the half. The Cardinals went on to win it 90-63, an impressive win there from the Ball State Cardinals. And the Ball State's men's volleyball team is set to face their biggest challenge yet tomorrow, #1 ranked Ohio State. The Buckeyes' key to success has been their veteran presence.
Look at Ohio State's team. They've got a senior libero. They've got a senior middle in Driz. They've got a senior right side in Miles Johnson. Just a lot of experience in those players, and then some very good players around them. They were maybe a year ahead of schedule, winning the national championship last year, because of the group of players that won that championship for them last season. All but one returned to their starting group, and it's why they've been able to continue their winning streak and why they're so strong again this season.
And they play tomorrow night at 7:30, and the Cardinals have the tools to pull off the upset.
All right, good luck to them. And coming up next, a French classic is coming to the University Theater stage.
Plus, find out which international superstar is pregnant with not one, but two. Your entertainment news is next.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
To NewsLink Indiana, I'm Katie Parker with everything in entertainment news today. We have breaking baby news. Beyonce announced Wednesday afternoon that she and her husband, singer-songwriter Jay-Z, are expecting twins. Queen Bee shared the news via Instagram, writing, "We would like to share our love and happiness. We have been blessed 2 times over. We are incredibly grateful that our family will be growing by 2, and we thank you for the well wishes." Twitter is reporting over 500,000 tweets about Beyonce within the first hour after her big reveal. The couple is already parents to a 5-year-old daughter named Blue Ivy. Congratulations and best wishes to the Carter family. Ball State's University Theater has a new production for the month of February. The theater is set to put on the play Boeing, Boeing this semester. This production is gaining some special attention as it's getting some special assistance behind the scenes. Calvin McLean, the artistic director of the Clarence Brown Theater in Knoxville, will be guest directing the production. Rachel Backer, who is an understudy for the character Gabriella, enjoys working with the show's director. The production will play during the first 2 weekends.
His mind works. Somebody who's in the industry and is an artistic director in Knoxville, it's very exciting for me.
The production will play during the first 2 weekends of February. For more information about the show or how to purchase tickets, you can do so at bsu.edu/theater. And that's all we got for your entertainment news. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, thank you very much, Katie. Kaylee, let's have one final look at weather.
Yeah, guys, we're going to be having some really cold temperatures this evening, and they're going to stick around for the next few days, so keep an eye out for that.
Alrighty. Well, hopefully we can stay warm. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a great night.